My name is Troy Cline. I work at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Washington, D.C. I'm here today at the conference at WCCE to talk about NASA education programs that infuse some of the latest cutting-edge educational technologies into our programs so that we can take science, put it into the hands of our teachers and our students in a way that they can instantly use. It's almost like plug-and-play programs.
Okay, so Troy, tell me a little bit about what you're doing here. You work in educational programs, and you are creating a new generation of weather girls and weather boys in schools. So how does that work out, really?
Well, the only difference is today when you watch television and you see the weathermen and the weatherwomen on TV, they often use a chroma keyed background. So it looks like, just to my left, which is a simple green cloth or a simple tint of green you can paint on the wall. Then all you need is a small webcam, a computer program. I tend to use a program called Visual Communicator and another program called Vlogit, V-L-O-G-I-T, by Adobe. That program lets you turn your computer into an instant television studio. So if I demonstrate, up in part of that screen you can write your own television script, which you can see here. And I can also drag and drop images that I like and collect into the action box area, and they will suddenly appear. So for instance, I can now scrub or scroll down through the screen, and where I put a picture of the sun talking about space weather in this case, you'll be able to see as I scroll up into the pink zone, the sun appears as if I were on television.
And space weather, what is that, and why is it important for us?
That's a very good question. It turns out that our sun and the Earth are very interconnected, and the sun often is very, very active. It goes through 11-year cycles, and every so often the sun will get very active and just spew out plasma into space and electrified particles, and those electrified particles will hit the Earth. We are luckily protected by a magnetic force field on the Earth called the magnetosphere. Much of that plasma and energy is deflected away from us, but some of it interacts with that magnetic field and generates a tremendous amount of energy, which eventually comes back into our atmosphere and into the North and South Pole, and it hits oxygen and nitrogen atoms, and they get very excited, and in order to get back to their normal molecular state, they will let off photons of light. Oxygen will let off red light, nitrogen will let off blues and purples, and what you end up with is a beautiful aurora display in the northern and southern latitudes. Now, the reason we care now so much is just walking around on the planet, you would never know that a solar storm is in progress, so why would I care about something so great and way beyond me? Well, it's because of our technology. We have so many satellites orbiting Earth right now, communication satellites and defense satellites, and many, many corporations have their own satellites, and we study the Earth and space and all of these systems. Now, if a solar storm is powerful enough, which often they are, it can sweep by our planet and it can damage those satellites. That means your cell phones could stop working, your GPS guidance systems could stop working. As a matter of fact, some of that electricity and energy will enter into the actual Earth and look for a place to conduct so that it can conduct through, and often it will find power lines that we use down here, and all of that energy will try to go through those power lines and just cause blackouts.
And how can students report that? How can students talk about space weather in this program that you use?
Very easy to do. There's a website, it's a NASA website, and it's called Sun Earth Day, one word, .nasa.gov, Gov/SWAC. And when actually I can go to the website, I believe I'm hooked to the internet right now.
Tell me about the text there. What is that text on the screen that you have there?
The text that you're looking at in the center was written by one of our students, and with the Space Weather Action Center program, we have materials that you can download that are free, and those materials, step by step, in very simple introductory steps, teach you how to find the data about space weather, beautiful images of the sun and the aurora, and there are small tutorials attached to that so that if you don't understand what it is you're seeing for the first time, just brief tutorials will tell you what that is and what to look for. Very simple to do. And at the end of looking at the data that we instruct you to find, we have a small fill-in-the-blank sample TV script, and you just fill in the words, like were there sunspots today? Was there a coronal mass ejection? Is an aurora in progress? And with the data that we find, you can answer every one of those questions in about 5 minutes.
So students reporting the future.
Exactly.
Fantastic.